Greetings and welcome to another edition of Office Hours with Dr. G. Really? I'm your host, Dr. G. And I'm glad that you are tuning in with me tonight. We're going to have one of those shows where I know you're going to enjoy, especially when you can get the kind of information tonight's guest brings to our platform. Reverend Dr. Craig E. Wright, numerologist and author of It All Adds Up. So teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts to wisdom. He's a native of Baltimore, Maryland. He studied religion and philosophy in his youth as a member of the Baltimore Ethical Society. It was a tragic death of a friend in the summer of 1972 that prompted him to search for the meaning of life. This quest began his study and subsequent mastery of the fascinating science of numerology. Since going public in 1988, Dr. Wright's numerology and counseling services have been sought after worldwide. He has served as a resource to several human service agencies by conducting seminars and workshops. He has a wide array of clientele who consult with him regularly on personal and as well as business matters. He's an ordained metaphysical minister, a certified metaphysical practitioner, and Dr. Wright holds a Bachelor of Science in Psychology, a PhD in Metaphysical Counseling, a Master of Metaphysical Science, and a Bachelor of Metaphysical Science. He is an ordained metaphysical minister and a certified metaphysical practitioner. I want to welcome to Office Hours with Dr. G tonight's special guest, the Reverend Dr. Craig E. Wright. Yeah, that's it. Hey, how are you? How are you?
Hello, just fine. Thank you.
We timed that good. I spaced it out so I could get all that stuff in there and not have you do my traditional rock with me, because when I finish, by the time I finish doing and announcing, normally the music, Dr. G music is still playing. So my guest and I, we have to rock. How are you doing, Reverend Wright?
Doing just fine, thank you. Thank you for having me on the program.
I am so happy that you have consented to come on the program, because I don't know whether you know it or not, but you hold a very special place in my heart as far as, you know, your craft and how we met back in 2012 in Maryland at an event, if you recall, and we were both speakers on that event, and I was at the very end and everybody was kind of leaving at the time. They had gone outside, they were milling around, and I was feeling kind of crazy because here I am, a newly awakened apostle in a totally different mode, and most of the people that were in attendance of this event were, you know, staunch Christians, and everything that had been said prior to me coming up, with the exception of you, I was so nervous. I was like, how in the heck am I going to talk around these people? Because they want me to be talking about Jesus or something like that, and that is not where I am. I was just totally in a different place, and I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to cut the mustard. You came up and you started talking to all these church folk about it all adds up. And you said something to the extent that numbers were so important to God that he even wrote a book about it in the Bible, the book of Numbers. And those folks started throwing their birth dates out to you left and right. They forgot all about how they may have thought that, talking about numerology or something that was seemingly for them unchristian. They wanted to know, because when they put the numbers out there, you were giving people information right and left. So when I came up, I mean, a couple of people later, everybody was kind of like going their ways, and you heard me speak on the mic, and you were one of the first people I saw come running back in to listen to what I had to say. And I will never forget that. Because you came in, some other folks came in, and they got to hear a different perspective. At least back then, 2012, I was about a little over a year, maybe a year and a half old in my walking in awakening. And so it was a wonderful support that I gained just because I heard you and because you came in to listen to me. Welcome. I've had you, I think, once on Reawakening Minds, the Blog Talk show. And that was when you were still in the Baltimore area. You have since moved out of that area. You've gotten married and went further down south. But I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you have agreed to come on tonight and talk to our audience about numbers. Now, tell us a little bit. It's a little different for some of the folks that are normally on here, because a lot of my guests are, and I guess they'll be in here. They're coming slowly but surely. But a lot of the not my guests, these are our regular, I call them my kin folks. The kin folks, a lot of them are have declared their Moorish nationality, and they're used to hearing things that speak to that. But office hours with Dr. G is to give us a well-rounded background in not only nationality, but everything, as Grand Sheikh Taj Sharif Bey would say. Numerology, that's Moorish science. Astrology, that's Moorish science. Almost every science that there is, alchemy, is also Moorish science. And so we need to be well-rounded in what we study and what we learn. So tell us a little bit about you. You have apparently been interested in the field of, or the, not necessarily the field, but in religion and philosophy, because you started studying at a young age. Can you tell us a little bit about you before we get into this fantastic science that you have mastered?
Oh, certainly. Well, my parents believed that one should be open-minded when it came to religion. So they didn't like going to church. It was an organized religion. They preferred going to the Ethical Society, which was formed by Felix Adler in New York. And basically, the Ethical Society was made up of people from all religions. Mm-hmm. All religions were there. And Sunday school, I visited a lot of different churches. So I had an ecumenical exposure to religion. I also had a knack for numbers when I was in school. And at a very early age, my parents decided I was going to become an engineer. So it was math and science. My mother was a school teacher, so I was never out of school. But when I was 21, that's when my best friend died of a drug overdose, and I didn't even know he was using. And that was a life-altering event. That's when I began to ask those tough questions. Why am I here? What is life about? What is the purpose? What is the meaning? And at that point, if I felt if it was going to be this painful and so arbitrary, I was ready to go. Take me now. I'm done with this thing called life. So it was that state of mind of seeking and wanting to know that God started to speak to me the way he knew I would understand, through numbers. And when I tell people that, they say, well, what do you mean? Well, I heard a song. The song was by Roy Ayers, and it was on an album called Everybody Loves the Sunshine.
Sunshine, yes.
He's throwing a lemon up into the air. And on that album, there's a song called In Search of the Third Eye. And the lyric goes, secrets of numbers, secrets of sound, secrets of wisdom will be found. So while I was in this questioning state of wondering why I was here, what was the meaning of life, this song just drew my attention. It captivated me. I bought a copy. And in reading the cover, I discovered the person who wrote that song had read a book called In Search of the Third Eye. Took me about 2 years to get my hands on a copy of it, but when I finally did, it was what I was looking for. It had information about colors. It said women really weren't docile, but the color pink had that aura. If you put somebody in pink, they will become docile. They did a study on colors on 60 Minutes. They painted a holding cell on Saturday night. One day painted dark green, the other day painted blue. So the person would come in dark green and they would fuss and fight all night until they just passed out. And when they put the person in blue cell, they just started breaking down and telling everything they had done wrong. So they discovered colors had an effect. But what really captivated me in this book was the secrets of numbers. I started reading about numbers, and you see, numbers are different from figures, Dr. G. If I hold up a pen and I say I have one pen, that would be a quantity. That's a figure. But if I look a little closer and I say, big pens are number one, now I'm no longer talking about a quantity, I'm talking about a quality of being the best.
Mm-hmm.
So figures reveal quantities, but numbers reveal qualities, spiritual qualities. So with this new insight, I was able to answer some of the tough questions that I was asking. I discovered that I was a number 7. My birth path was a 7. My name was a 7. My vow total was a 7. And as a 7, my mission was to discover hidden truths and to share them with others.
Wow.
So I discovered no greater love as a friend that he laid down his life. I gave that untimely death meaning by interpreting it as him laying down his life so I could discover this wonderful science and share it with so many people. So I always give him credit for every word I utter, every bit of information I share with people. It was because of his sudden demise. That was my eureka moment, my aha moment, if you will.
So numbers have play such an important role in one's life that you can literally do similar, perform similar. I don't know whether I want to call them predictions or prophetic, and I don't know whether when you give someone a reading, are you giving them definitives? Are you giving them probabilities? Like, for instance, you told me in 2012, shortly after we met, you called me and you knew in our short conversation, I think you realized that I was writing a book, which is, I did eventually write that book, but you told me not to release it in 2012, but to release it in 2013, because you said I would be in an 8-year. That was what we spoke on the phone. I can remember it like it was yesterday. I was walking, I was on my lunch hour and I was outside, I was on the mall, and my phone rang and we were talking outside and for that brief time, but you said, don't release your book in 2012. And so I just kind of waited till maybe January or something. I have to look in there, but I didn't. At what you were, I listened to your advice. But what would have been the significance? I know what you told me, but what was the significance of me not releasing it in the 7-year and waiting until the year was my what you call 8-year? And where did I get that year from?
Okay, a lot of questions in there.
Yeah.
I'll start by saying for all things, there's a season.
Mhm.
For all things, there's a season. And with numerology, you can tell the season that you are in. Each number has a meaning. As I was saying earlier, numbers reveal spiritual qualities. So that everybody knows what the number one means. I don't know if you want to show that chart now with the general meaning of numbers. The number one is a symbol for leadership.
Okay.
The number two, we hold up two fingers, that's the peace sign. Two stands for cooperation. The number three stands for expression, youth, and abundance. Four is a symbol for work and orderliness. Five is a symbol for freedom and change. Six, that's the number of the greatest among us, the servant. The number six, service and responsibility. Seven is a symbol for faith and wisdom. Eight is money and power, and nine is selflessness. So on the seventh day, God rested. So if you have a financial venture, you want to release it, it's better to wait for the number 8 year because that's the season of money and power. Now, in the other column, there are double digits. Double ones, that's the master of revelation, the master teacher vibration. It's a very high spiritual energy. People who are here to teach us lessons and to be examples. The number 22 is called the master builder and the globalist. We're in a number 22 year this year. 2 plus 0 plus 20 equal 22. 33 is called the master healer and the master of universal service. 44 is a master liberator, the speaker of truth and the prophet. 55 is the master of divine will. 66, master of universal joy. 77 is master of creative thought. 88, master of divine knowing. And 99, master of universal love. So those are the energies symbolized by numbers. Every letter also has a corresponding numeric value. And the letters are converted into numbers using this chart. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, right on through the alphabet. When we have double digits, Dr. G, like the letter Z, the 26th letter of the alphabet, we add it. So 2 plus 6 would be 8. So if we're working with numbers, we have the meanings already provided. The answers are already there. That's what I love about numerology. The answers are already there. You just convert letters into numbers. If you're working with a word, you can turn any word into numbers by using the conversion chart. So this is a chart I use when I'm teaching a class called the Jeremiah effect. The scripture tells us that before we were formed in the womb, we have a contract with the Creator. And our Creator knows the plans for our lives. And these plans are to prosper us and not to harm us. So by using the science of numerology, you can find out what your contract is with the Creator. Our birth date reveals God's part of the contract. It's called the gift. Psalms 90 tells us, teach us to number our days so we can apply our hearts to wisdom. So this is an example of how you would number your days. There's a birth date on the page. It's today's date, August the 4th, 1961. That happens to be Obama's birthday. President Obama. We know, of course, he was the 44th president. The 44th. So there was a master number president. He led us out of a terrible economic crisis by speaking truth to the economic, the powers that be, to get them back in line. But to number his birthday, we would simply add it up. The month of August would be the 8th month. So that's where the 8 comes from. Then we add 8 plus 4 in his year, 1961. 8 plus 4 plus 1 plus 9 plus 6 and 1 equals 29, and 2 plus 9 is 11. And that's the master of revelation and the master teacher. Okay? So that's how you determine your gift. If you're in the listening audience or the viewing audience, in a little while, we're going to be helping you with your birthday. But this is an example that you can use, and you have the chart right there. Now, I want to show you how you would do a name. All right. Sticking with that number 11, what I have here are some famous names. Each of us has a contract with our creator, and our name reveals our part of the contract or the promise. The birthday is God's part. That's the gift. The name is how we say we're going to use that gift. So I've stuck with the number 11, and using the conversion chart, I'm just going to go up to the top so you can see um, the letter. For the first name is Muhammad. M is the number 4. Okay. The reason why M is a 4 is because it's the 13th of the alphabet, and 1 plus 3 is 4. U is a 3. It's the 21st letter, so it's under the number 3. So when you're doing a name, Dr. G, you find the letter and you look up. And that's what I've done here. I've substituted numbers for the letters in the name Muhammad, Jesus, and Timothy. Muhammad is 4 plus 3 plus 8 plus 1 plus 4 plus 4 plus 1 and 4, and that's 29. And 2 plus 9 is 11. The name Jesus is 1 plus 5 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1, and that's also the number 11. And of course, I'm using Timothy because he's the founder of the Moorish Science Temple. Later, he became known as
Noble
Drew
Child.
Ali,
Yes.
but that's his birth name was Timothy. And if you substitute numbers for Timothy, it's 2 plus 9. M is the 13th letter, that's 4. O is the 15th, 1 plus 5 is 6. T is the 20th letter, 2 plus 0 is 2. H is the 8th letter, that's already a single digit. And finally, Y, the 25th letter, 2 plus 5 is a 7. And when you add it up, it's the number 38. So all of these masters were here to enlighten us, to provide us with inspiration, and to guide our paths spiritually. And each of them had religions founded based on their wisdom. The number 11, again, that's the master of revelation and also the master teacher.
And so when you're doing that, you're using just the first name, or are you using? Would you be using the first, the middle, and last of the birth name? Or many of us have corrected, we have changed our names and so forth over the years, particularly, if we nationalize. So what name are you looking at when you would be making this calculation?
Well, when I do a reading for a client, I always start with the birth name, the name on the birth certificate. That is, if you will, the broth to the soup. Now, if you change your name, get a nickname, people call you names, that's like adding some potatoes, some carrots, some onions to that stew. So I look at both.
Okay.
I look at
So,
both.
but if somebody is generally called something different, that would probably be the energy of which that's what they that's who they are mainly.
Well, I would look at it, I would explain it this way. Your birth name is the promise that you made. The current name is how you're attempting to keep that promise.
Okay. All right.
Some people go through a name change and end up with the same energy.
I think that's what I did when you did mine from my birth name to the change that I did in 1989, and it was pretty much the same. So I thought that was interesting, but I felt like I felt like my direction changed also with the name change when I made the name change, because at that point it wasn't a name correction because I didn't know anything about correcting status. I just had a feeling, back in 87, I want to say 89, 87, I guess it was, when I changed the name, from my birth name to Naila, right? So I just felt, and then I felt like the name called to me. And Naila means one who succeeds. And so I needed, apparently, and a lot of things happened for me after 1987. And I changed my name from, Patricia to Naila. A lot of things that I could attribute to, wow, now I'm walking in my purpose. I felt like I was walking in divine purpose at the time. No, I didn't understand it first, but there was such a pull for me to do it. And there was such a pushback from like my mother and my family. I gave you that name. And my comeback with her was always, no, you didn't. They told you to name me that because I was born on St. Patrick's Day. And you weren't called to call me that anyway. And because that's the story. The nurses said, you should call her Patricia. So it wouldn't have been that. It would have been something else. But the fact of the matter is, I felt like when I became when I selected, I had picked from the tree of, that had the answer for me. And that was the right fruit for me. And it did did make a lot of difference in the way my life has been since, that's what.
Well, yes, even though they were both number 5s, the vowel total and the consonants, they changed. So your vowels reveal your heart's desire. The consonants reveal how people will view you and what they will expect from you.
Okay.
So when by using Naila, your vowel total AIA. If you look at the conversion chart, A is a number 1, I is a 9, and A is a 1. That adds up to 11. And that's the number that I've been talking about and focusing on tonight. The number 11. That's your vowel total.
Okay, let's go. So, okay.
The A.
So that's a master revelation teacher.
Yes. That by changing that name, you enhance your spiritual qualities, you enhance your ability to inspire others, and you became a light in the world, a light worker.
And that's funny because that's what I started to embrace. And most of the time when I end an email to someone, I say love and light at the end of,
Yes.
But
That's
I didn't.
the number 11. The 11s are the lights of the world.
Right. Okay. Wow.
So by choosing that name, you put yourself with some pretty good company, huh?
It looks like it. Thank you, Zena. Yeah. Well, and it's funny because the name Naila, for instance, is normally a name that we see these days on younger people, the people have become more astute over the years, and they're naming they may be in their at the best, maybe it's somebody in their 30s or maybe early 40s, when people are starting to come into this consciousness about, the picking a name that had an African origin. But for me, I had to pick my own. I picked my own. These people have named their children that, and that's their birth name. So when you see a Naila at somebody, my age, at 65, they're like, like, is that, how'd you get that name? Was your mother that conscious? No, it's like I was. I was conscious. I was conscious enough to know that I needed to, that I was someone else. And then I just I have a book back here on names that I just kind of like went through the book until two names spoke to me, Naila Bakari. And so I changed my first and last name to Naila Bakari. So it was just, hey, I was in the midst of a separation that was leading to a divorce. And I'm like, what, I might as well just change my whole name before the whole thing was over. So by the time I did the divorce, I was divorcing my ex as, also known as, you know what I mean? So I already had a name change. I changed my name and I changed my life. TV opened up for me. I was at a place just answering a phone for a telethon or something that was going on, something local. And the gentleman that was kind of like the kingpin at the time at the studio, he just looked at me and said, would you like to come back and answer phones for me for my Sunday program? Because he ran all the spiritual gospel stuff that we had on Sundays here on local cable TV. And I said, well, okay. And I was had just left a church where I had been, I was suffering from church hurt. I was like, I'm not going to church. And so I went to this to do this. Is that on your end of my? Oh, that's your end. I'm like, is that my phone? So I went to do my, show up and how do you want me to answer the phones? And he ended up asking me to come on the camera. And before I knew it, for too long, I was co-hosting. And then, but in 6-7 months, he was traveling and I was hosting. I was hosting the show, the Spiritual Revival Hours, and to the point to this day, people will see me and they'll look at me with such, like, oh gosh, I know you. They would never get my name right. They would be going, I said Naila, and I'm looking at them like, I don't know who this person is, and they're looking at me with a lot of like, oh, I know her, and then I said, you probably know me from cable TV, channel 22, and they go, that's it. Because people forget that you can't see on the other side of the screen. I mean, it's like them here. They see us, but, and I know them, many of them by, their appellations down there, but I don't know them, and people get to know you and they have a familiarity with you. And so, but a lot of doors opened up after that name change took place. And so, and I'm not suggesting that everybody go out and change their name, but a lot of us, a lot of Moors or conscious Moors are actually incorrect in our status, or, it's some are keeping parts of their birth name and some are totally, getting rid of it for something else that resonates with them better. But from a standpoint of your counseling and so forth, I mean, once you do a reading and I'm assuming the reading, you have their birth date, their name, you have, because your background is extensive because you have all this metaphysical counseling background and PhD and all this stuff. So you also look at aspects of what's going on in a person's life. Do you do it based on the numerology, or in your counseling, or do you have any, should I say, like clair gifts, like clairvoyance, clairaudient? Do you pick up from a spiritual sense, I guess, things that people should know, or is it solely based on the numbers?
Well, I can't separate them. I guess I would say for me, it's like if you go to a radio, you turn the dial to a certain number, and then you hear the music from whatever that station is, a talk show or whatever it is. So the idea in numerology is we were literally created by the word, and words are vibrations that we use letters and numbers as symbols for. So the letters in our name and the numbers in our birthday are symbols for the word of God that created us. So when I tune into that, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to describe. I just start hearing the music. When I turn into your dial, I hear the music, and that's what I share with people.
Yeah, I know we hadn't spoken for quite some time, and a few years, been quite a few, maybe 3 years or more since you had been on the show. And I know I had called you the early part of the year when we were doing a program that ended up being canceled because of the virus. And the first thing you said to me, you begin to tell me that during a certain period of a week of the month area, like a 2-week period, you said, oh, you have some finances coming quite a bit, something is about to, happen for you in the financial area. And I'm assuming I don't know whether it was based on my name or the birth date, or
all forecasts are based on your birth date.
Okay. So you must have pulled when you called me, you had pulled my birth date. You have probably already had it. And you said something was going to happen, and I don't know whether I told you this or not, but it actually happened within the same period that you said it was going to happen. And you didn't know. I didn't tell you anything. I didn't tell you what I was, what I was dealing with and everything, but I was just like, oh, okay, because I was wondering at that point, when was this going to break? Like, I'm tired now. And then I call you about something totally, different. And you say to me when you call me back, oh yeah, you're getting ready to come into something, and it's going to be between this period and this period. And sure enough, that's exactly what it was. And I don't know whether Sister Tamara is on here or not, but I know that when Sister Tamara L, when I introduced her to you, she had a consultation with you in a reading, and she called me back. And she's not one of those people that really, she's like a tough cookie. She's a tough sell. But she called me, she was like, Dr. G, thank you so much. He is the truth. And, she need whatever you told her, it was what she needed and what resonated with her. And I said, yeah. I said, well,
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. I'm glad.
And so,
It's a blessing to be used in that manner.
right.
Are we still connected? Dr. G, I can't hear you. Not sure what to do. Should I go off and try to come back on? I'm going to try that. I'm back. Yeah, I'm on, but Dr. G, we can't hear or see you, Dr. G. Hey, I'm back. Can you hear me? Okay. um, I understand that everybody can hear me, and Dr. G's in the process of trying to get back on board. So, going to be kind of winging it. I'm looking at in the comments if anyone would like to type in their birth date. I'll be glad to share some information with you. Um, Someone asked, what does it mean? They see the number 11 all the time. Well, we've been talking about the number 11. 11 is the number of the master teacher, someone who's here to be an example for others. It can put you in the limelight, involve you with radio and television, as you just heard from Dr. G. So if you're seeing that number, the universe is asking you to step it up, to spend a little more time in prayer, meditation. um, we are human beings, not human doings. We have to take time to be still and to tune in, kind of let the universe catch up with us. Um, I'm looking at the comments, scrolling down. Okay, I've got, whoa, start with, wow, double 11s, November 11th. November the 11th, you got 11 month, 11 day, and your year, 1966. 1 plus 9 plus 6 and 6, D-Bay, add up to 22. So your birthday, 11/11, and your years of 22 adds up to 44. So D-Bay, that means you are a master liberator. The number 44 is often considered a prophet. So I don't know if you're writing or if you're sharing what you write. Many times 11 will have automatic writing experiences, and then they'll hide it what they write down and say, oh, you're not ready for this. So if you're having that type of experience, D-Bay, I want you to share what you are writing. In fact, you're in a number 44 year. This is your year. Expect your finances to take a dramatic increase in September. This year is for reflection, gaining wisdom, gaining knowledge, like I'm sharing with you now, this month rather. So number 7, and the next month is the number 8 for D-Bag. That's when your money will come in. Speaking of number 8, Margaret McCoy, you have a number 8 birthday, April 26th. Kismet Bay, you're born the 17th. 1 plus 7 is 8. Um, so let me talk a little bit about the number 8. The 8 literally means, as it is above, so it is below. 2 circles. In numerology, 0 is a symbol for God. So the number 8 can channel the heavenly power of God to the earthly plane. Very strong, powerful people. Um, Kemet Bay, born on the 17th. And there was a number 26 up there. There she is, Margaret McCoy. 2 plus 6 is 8. So 8 stands for money, power, authority. When you have a number 8 birthday, you can expect to be placed as head of the department. Um, you're going to be the supervisor. Um, you can try to avoid responsibility, number 8, but people are going to come to you and ask you what they should do anyway. 26, you're here to learn forgiveness. Okay, what goes around comes around. Speaking of forgiveness, folks, when you forgive someone, you're really forgiving yourself. There's an energy and effect that's called karma. Okay, it's called karma. And the wise people, the wise ones know an eye for an eye, that's an old law. An eye for an eye leaves everyone blind. Okay, forgiveness is a key, especially born on the 26th. Number 17, you have the best financial prospect than any other number. Muhammad Ali was a 17. Michael Jordan was a 17. So great athletes, and they do very well financially. Moving on now, Sirius C, May the 14th. 1 plus 4 is 5. Sheva Bay, you have a number 5 birthday as well, August 5th. 5 stands for freedom and change. If you have a number 5 birthday, you're here to rock the boat and cause some trouble, okay? Fives don't care about tradition. They don't care how you did it 20 years ago. A number 5 doesn't care how you did it yesterday. Fives are here to bring progressive change, progressive change. So the keepers of tradition always label the 5 a troublemaker and a boat rocker. Fives are here to work 9 to 5 because the 5 stands for freedom. Sirius C, the 14 is a symbol for a scribe. So you're a writer, you're an old soul. You had a previous lifetime as a scribe where you were exposed to medicine, um, mathematics, science, religion. Didn't have books. Rich people had books and they hired scribes if they wanted a copy. And Sirius C, you had one of those positions exposed to a lot of information. And in this lifetime, you are here to deliver inspired messages. So Sirius C, you're a writer. Don't know if you're writing, but you are a writer. You will also have an amazing influence on children. Okay, you came here, Sirius C, to make the world a better place, and you're going to do it by writing and working with children. Um, let's move on now. Furiel, I apologize if I'm not saying that correctly. April 13th. Number 13, I'm glad you checked in. 13 is so misunderstood. People think that 13 means death. People are afraid of that number. Friday the 13th, some people will not leave the house. So where some people think that 13 means death, I always say what is death to the caterpillar is life to the butterfly. We don't die, we simply transition back to our original spiritual form. Okay, so as a number 13, the 13 stands for change, release, and transformation. Take the old and make it new. Faria, take the old and make it new. You can take raw materials and manufacture them. You can take old houses and renovate them, but you will also come into contact with people who need a little checkup and a little squirt from the grease can to get them moving again. Um, you will never be in one place too long as a number 13 because you're about the change, you're about the transition. So I call the 13 God's little fire starter. When everything is about to die, the 13 shows up with some lighter fluid and a match to get the fire going again. And then you're off on another journey. You're an old soul, your month and day match. They're both number 4s. Your year is a 5. So, Faria, you are here to express leadership, to be the leader, the person up front. November 15th, 1966, you had the voice that must be heard. Martin Luther King Jr. was a 15. 15s are very gifted vocally, and you're here to be of service, to teach, counsel, nurture, to give advice. You're born on the 11th, D-Bay, which gives you the ability to write. And if you should take pen to paper, November 15th, 1966, as well as Hassani, also 1966, and Chris Bernard, 1975. I like how all three of you kind of came in right behind each other. That's how the energy flows. All three of you have a number 22 year. 1 plus 9 plus 6 and 6 is 22. 5 is 22. So all of you have the ability to write. Something you write, make it to a big strength. That's D-Bay, Connie, and Chris Bernard, encouraging you to write. Rose, your name is a number 3 and your birthday, the 30th, a number 3. 3 stands for expression, singing, painting, dancing, writing, anything artistic, decorative, colorful, and working with children. So Rose Reed, keep your ID with you. No one's going to believe your age when you tell them because you are the picture of youth. That's the number 3. Youth and abundance. The story of Christ is about the number 3. Sought about 3 wise men, denied by 3 sleeping disciples, arose on the 3rd day. So 30s, many people who are born the 30th are ministers. So you're here to deliver that word. First eye vision, 9-1. Everybody knows what number one means. Numero uno, the first, the fastest, the top, the best. Born on the 19th, 7/19, 1981. You're also a number one. Leadership is indicated, self-employment. Um, I'm not even going to try to pronounce your name because I don't want to dishonor it in any way. But the person born in July the 19th, 1981, who put their birthday in twice, you're going to have to learn patience. You're here to learn patience. Number ones want everything quick. And your year is also a number one. 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 1 adds up to 19. So you have a double dose of that. I want it like yesterday energy. Um, expect to be a leader. You are an engine. You're here to make things go. You're here to give orders, not to take them. And self-employment is indicated. If you do work for someone else, you'll probably be the face of the organization or in a leadership position. Matt Alston, born 2/22. Your year is also a 2. 1 plus 9 plus 7 and 3 add up to 20. So you're all about the number 2, which is diplomacy, tact. You could be a world ambassador as a number 22, working for the government. Your impact will be global. And when we add it all up, 2 plus 22, your years of 20, you're a master. Adds up to 44. The master liberator and the speaker of truth. That's Matt Alston Bay. Dr. G, I notice you have a lot of master spirits and old souls who are tuning in to your program. Thank you, First Eye Vision. Got a little feedback. Matt Austin Bay, diplomat, personified. May 24th, that's the family entrepreneur vibration. Earl Nixon, you have the ability, the gift, the birthday is a gift, to start a business and to hire your family. The 24th, family entrepreneur vibration. You're welcome, Rose Reed. Thank you. Wow, on point. Yes. The numbers don't lie, as they say. Angelo, double threes. Your month is a 3. Your day, the 12th, 1 plus 2 is a 3. And that's the tip off, Dr. G. When any of those numbers match, that's an old soul. So, like many others, Angelo is also an old soul. Been here many, 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 many lifetimes. And you are here to work on one thing. And that one thing is follow through, Angelo. You're very creative. You get a lot of ideas. Um, I'm going to say it. You are a genius. You are a genius. There's going to be times everyone thinks you're wrong, but you'll be the only one that's right. Angelo, Costello, and anyone else out there, if you're born on the 12th, this is the number of genius. So you are here to share your ideas, to get your concepts down on paper. You're a great researcher, and the information that you find is to be shared. Okay, you're going to find young people going to be more accessible or more amenable to the ideas that you're bringing to the table, but you're going to have to learn follow through. Um, it's not going to happen for you the first time you try. You have to try and try and try again. So don't give up. Keep pushing, Angelo Costello. You're welcome, Frail. The information is going in so fast I can't keep up with it. August 1st, I'll do a little something different for August 1st. You can tell your season by adding your month and day to the current year. So this year, 2 plus 0 plus 20 is a number 22 year. So if you add August 1st, 8 plus 1 is 9. And if you add that to 22, it adds up to 31. So BSI, Black Series Initiative, anyone born August 1st or if you're a month and day, add up to a 9. May the 4th, August 1st, June the 3rd, July the 2nd. If your month and day add up to a 9, this year you may have an opportunity to increase your finances by working in harmony with others. This is a great year for business. If your month and day add up to the number 9, but you want to make sure your contract is in order and stand guard against any type of influence from the outside. You may encounter legal difficulties, but you will win August 1st. Any legal or court case that come up, you are going to win. Ashe, Angelo, Ashe. Silvermore, you got my birthday. Where did it go that fast? I just saw May the 4th on here somewhere. There it is. Silvermore, I'm born May the 4th too. So you're also under that 31 energy that I just mentioned. Your year, 1976, adds up to 23. 1 plus 9 plus 7 is 6 is 23, and 2 plus 3 is 5. So Silvermore, like so many others, you're an old soul as well. Your month is a 5, and your year is a 5. That's up to 23. So if we add 5 and 4, it's 9. 9 and 23 is 32, Silvermore. And the number 32 is called the ruler of all nations and people. So Silvermore, I don't quite know who you are or where you are, but wherever you are and whoever you are, you have come here to have a global impact. You've come here not to work for anyone else, to stand on your own, and to have a global impact. The 32 is called the ruler of all nations and people. God will act through the number 32 to express victory, rewards. So you have to remember, it's God using you, Silvermore. So the only thing that can stop you is if you begin to think of yourself as the source of the power instead of being the channel God is using for the power. Never turn away from a fight. You can't lose. Johanna Heath, November 9. The number 9 is called the number of selfless giving. So if you're born on the 9th, 18th, or 27th of any month, you're a number 9, which implies you're going to find yourself in a lot of situations where you're just giving, 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 giving. Joanna Heath, giving, giving, but getting little or nothing back from the people you give to. The mission of the number 9 is to be God's hands on earth. So when God wants to bless someone, it's going to come through the number 9. So it's not really your stuff. People are taking number 9, when you invite your best friend in because they had an argument at home and they eat your food, run up your phone bill, break up your china, and leave without saying thank you. That's the number 9 experience. Okay? But if you can keep a cheerful frame of mind and be a cheerful giver, the more you give, the more God will give to you. In fact, the word money is a number 9 vibration. So the way to is true. All the preachers are telling us all these years, give us your money. It's true. The way to increase finances is to give money away, to be a blessing to someone else. God will multiply. It's really true. So Johanna, you're here to express that concept. Everyone's going to think people are taking advantage of you, but the giver always gets more. 11 and 9 is 20. This will give you musical abilities. You also will have the opportunity to express yourself in the theater, Johanna Heath. In fact, the number 9 is the last number. We start with 0, that's a symbol for God. And when we get to the number 9, there are no new numbers after the number 9. So when you're born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th, or the month of September, you're an old soul. And you have accumulated all the skills, all the talents of all the other numbers. So Dr. G has said the number 9 can do anything. They're multi-talented. They can do anything except make up their mind what they want to do. Because the 9 is selfless, they proceed this way. Thy will, not my will, be done. 9s have the ability to empty themselves and allow God to work through them. And that's why I call them God's hand on earth. Nelson Mandela was a 99, the master of universal love. 99 is 18, 1 plus 8 is 9. He was even born on the 18th of July, the number 9. Everybody thought there was going to be a bloodbath. Only a bloodbath could right the wrongs of apartheid, but they were wrong. The master of universal love became president, and everything was a smooth transition. Sandra Thomas Fisher, you are not Susie Homemaker. Barefoot, pregnant, and in the kitchen is not what you came here to do. You're a number 8. 8 stands for money, power. You're the boss. Plain and simple. Mr. Fisher, if you're out there, she's the boss. If we add your month, day, and year, 7 and 8 is 15. Your year adds up to 20. Okay? 7 plus 8 is 15. 1 plus 9 plus 5 and 5. 20 and 15 is 35. And 3 plus 5 is 8. So not only is it your day of birth, Sandra Fisher, but when we add your month, day, and year, it's also a number 8. The 35 is called the inheritance vibration. So you are going to inherit money, position, and power throughout your lifetime. Be prepared to travel. You didn't come here to be working 9 to 5. You have to have movement, fluid and freedom of movement in order to manifest what God has put you here to do. The best is yet to come for you, Sandra. I'm seeing tremendous increase in finance to the point where you could have a 501c3, a nonprofit organization, and start to give that money away. Okay, philanthropic activities are indicated. 7855, Sandra Thomas Fisher. Rigid collards, I apologize if I'm not saying that correctly. Ruggit, born 8/3/1966. The number 1966 is a 22. So whenever that shows up, that's a global influence. The 3, which is your day of birth, stands for expression, singing, painting, dancing, writing. So something you write, you have free will, you don't have to write, but something you write, should you take pen to paper, could make it to the big screen. There's no doubt about it. Your influence could be global because of the number 22, and having access to radio, television, theater, these things put a global audience at your disposal. Your month and day add up to 11. Ruggit, 8/3/1966. 11 to 22 is 33. So you are a master healer. The 33 is called the master healer and the master of universal love. So you are here to heal the sick, to take care of the poor, the disadvantaged. You're also here to sacrifice for what you believe in, your ideals. The best example that I could give you would be Muhammad Ali. He was a 33. And he refused to fight in a war he didn't believe in, and it cost him millions. But he became an icon for standing up for what you believe. And that's what 33s are here to do. 8/3/66, trying to stand up. Excuse me. Sandra made me laugh. I can't wait, she says. You're here to stand up for what you believe in. Keep pushing forward. Never give up. Don't become argumentative with people. 8/3/66 doesn't do any good. Follow through. Keep your vision of what you want to accomplish and manifest it. Otherwise, people are going to pull you off track. Amanda Siegel, The number 29, we talked a lot about that tonight. It gives tremendous abilities, spiritual abilities, but it's also a commercial vibration. Oprah Winfrey was born on the 29th. Need I say more about your potential for commercial abundance when you're born on the 29th? It's a number of light. So you're here to be a light bearer. And when you're the light bearer, you have to be a leader. You have to be up front when you're born on the 29th. If the person holding the lantern is in the back, you're just casting shadows on the path. You've got to move up front when you're born on the 29th. You're an entrepreneur and an artist as well. 1 plus 29 is 30. Your year adds up to 10, 23. 1 plus 9 is 19, and 4 is 23. 23 and 30 is 53. Now that's the number 53, Amanda. That's often associated with military leaders, people who make life and death decisions. When you're a number 53, you heard, Amanda, you've heard the saying, if you can't stand the heat, stay out of the kitchen. Well, the number 53, Dr. G, goes into the kitchen, turns on all the burners on the stove, turns the oven on, and opens the door up, and puts on a wool coat and says, boy, it's cool in here. They can take the heat. The number 53, when everybody else is saying, the sky is falling, they're cool, calm, and collected. So you'll be at your best, Amanda, in emergency situations when everybody else doesn't know what to do. They're going to turn to you. You also could be a captain of industry, okay, and a professional athlete as well. Church Avenue Dan, 1984, amazing. He's born January the 9th, 84, so that's 1984. He's putting that out to me. Your year adds up to the number 22. 1 plus 9 plus 8 and 4 is 22. That's the global vibration. Church Avenue Dan, 1 and 9 is 10, 10 and 22 is 32. And that's the number of the ruler of all nations and people. So expect to have a global influence. Church Avenue Dan, born on the 9th, you're going to work with people from all walks of life, people from different ethnicities. You are here to be a global citizen of the world. Watch out for credit cards, though, Dan. You've probably learned that lesson by now. You may even find yourself working as an accountant or in the finance field. Your year will enable you, your birth path rather, will enable you to travel, to experience freedom, and to have your own business should you so desire. I just saw double twos. The gnosis, double twos. Two is associated with peace, harmony. When we hold up two fingers, that's the peace sign. We're told that music heals the savage beast. So many twos are musicians. Okay, they have excellent musical abilities, especially with stringed instruments or drums. But any musical instrument, but they tend to specialize with piano, guitar, or drums. Double deuces indicate an old soul, as many of your listeners are. ML, your day and your year are both the number 19, another old soul. You're born in February, so you also have that 2 energy, which is associated with being the peacemaker, the person in the middle. Twos have friends who love them, but they can't stand each other. So twos bring people together. They're like the hub to the wheel. And notice 2 and 2 is 4. Your year adds up to 24. 4 and 24 is 28. Okay. 2 plus 8 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. So you're here, your gift is leadership. Self-employment is indicated, as is the ability, should you decide to use your musical gifts, to be a one-man show. ML, you're welcome, Sandra Thomas Fisher. ML, 2 19, 19. Your year is also a 19. As of the 38, 38 and 2 is 40. Now that's a number that shows up a lot. I'm glad that we see that. Oh, by the way, the 19 will make you a leader. Malcolm X was probably the best example, Dr. G, of 19 energy. 19s are raw. They're hard. They're in your face. They don't pull any punches, and they will tell it just like it is. So it's a leadership vibration, very, very strong and powerful energy. Your month and year are both 19s, ML, which adds up to 38 and 2 is 40. Now, we find out about the number 40 a lot. First of all, I want to tell you 4 stands for work and order, and 0 is a symbol for God. So, ML, people are not going to like to see you coming, okay? Because your gift to 1972 is to establish the order of God. So people are going to call you mean, stubborn, strict. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. But you make sure things have a firm foundation. Fours are managers, supervisors, regulators. They're the sergeant at arms in the club. Fours make sure everything has a firm foundation. Okay, when they plant a new tree and they put those spikes in the ground beside it to hold it in place, that's number 4 energy. The tree can't go to the right or the left, so it gets a good root set, and the survival rate was magnified tremendously when they start putting those sticks beside there. They were losing 3 out of every 10 trees. That was expensive. Okay, now they come back later and they take those spikes down because after a while it'll choke the tree, but it gives it a good foundation and make sure it succeeds. And that's what you do, ML. A firm foundation and make sure things succeed. But you know what that tree says? You're mean. You're stubborn. I can't budge. You're strict. So even though what you're doing is assuring the life of the tree or the life of a child or whatever it is you're managing, you're increasing the survival ratio, it's not going to be appreciated. Your best work. Not until later they'll come back and say, boy, if it wasn't for you, but right now you're the mean, stubborn, strict one. The Dwight Phillips, moving on, 866 is the number of the servant. The greatest among you will be the servants. That's what the scripture tells us. Oh, back to that 40. The children of Israel wandered 40 years in the desert. It rained 40 days and 40 nights. So every time you see the number 40, it means God is establishing a new order. Okay, back to the way. Old soul again. I'm saying it so often, I'm not even surprised now. Usually it's very rare, but not tonight. Your year, 1959, 1 plus 9 plus 5 plus 9 adds up to 24, and 2 plus 4 is 6. Matches your day of birth, Dwight. The 24 I call the family entrepreneur vibration. So you will have the gift and opportunities to have a business and hire your family. If we add your month and day, it's 14. 14 plus 24. Dwight, we're not going to talk about those early days. Let's just say God had a golden rope around you, allowed you to have experiences that took other people out, and then he pulled you back in so you can talk about it and share it. Your test has become your testimony. So you're here to write, to express, to inspire. Through experiences that you have had to inspire. You are here to be a light in a world of darkness. Much like when we opened up the show, I was talking about the number 11. You're here to inspire others, and you're a teacher. Some 11s work in the classroom, some don't, but you are the lesson, Dwight. What you do, the way you walk, the way you talk, you're God's example here on earth. Be patient with others. Be patient with others. I'm also going to recommend you use a vision board. And for those who don't know, a vision board is simply a piece of paper with all the things you want pasted on it. So you can look at it and train your mind's eye, sort of dictate to your subconscious what you want to see manifest. And the way you have that ability, we all do, but you have a special heightened ability to manifest what you visualize. So I want to encourage you to do that. Well, thank you, Sandra Thomas. You're very welcome. Just on that note, numerology has been around, some 4,000 years. So I was blessed to discover it. I didn't know it when I was a young child. I was being prepared for it. I want to encourage everyone to look into it. It's a worthwhile venture, studying the secrets of numbers. Tilly, Tilly just jumped up on the screen. So let me do a name. Tilly. T is a 2, I is a 9, that's 11. The 2 L's are 6. The 2 L's are 3. 3 and 3 is 6 and 11. That's 17, and 7 is 24. So the name Tilly is a 24, and that's the family entrepreneur vibration. You'll have an opportunity to teach, counsel, nurture, give advice. And the number 6 is a rescuer. Nathan Jacob, you're a 6. You're a rescuer. Dwight Phillips, you're a 6. You're a rescuer. Curtis Ford, you're born in June. You're a rescuer. We get this information about the number 6 from the story of 6 vats of wine that was 6 vats of water that was turned into wine. That was a rescue mission. The party was going bad because someone ran out of wine. So from that, we learned 6s are here to throw out a metaphysical rope and to pull up people who've fallen off the edge. Watch out, number 6. If the rope gets too heavy, you may have to let that go. 6s have to learn how to let go and let God. You can't save everybody. Jasmine Miller, your 6 is in your name. The name Miller is a 33, a healing vibration, which will give you the power in your hands, literally. 33s can lay hands on people and heal them. 16 and 11 is 27. Jasmine Miller, you are a number 27. That's the Job vibration. You will rise only to fall. You will love only to lose. But whatever the universe takes from you, it's going to come back double. You're going to learn about spirituality. Well, you learned about spirituality early in life. So I want to encourage you to begin to share what you're receiving. You're a writer. I don't know if you're writing, but you're a writer. So share what you're receiving. You're a light. You're not meant to absorb the light or to keep it under a basket. You're meant to shine that light. Your name, Jasmine, 1137 is a number 3. Which is expression, singing, painting, dancing, writing, anything artistic, decorative. Jasmine, your first name is a 3, and your last name is a 33. So when you walk past children, it's going to be like the Pied Piper. You might be walking through a mall and strange children will just start following you. So that's a clue that you're here to teach young people. Nathan, number 22, hard worker. Nathan, get out, have some fun. You're a workaholic, man. Have some fun. Take a break. You're very intense, Nathan. Very intense. Most people, I tell them, be more serious. Nathan, ease up. Take it easy a little bit. Your month and day, 14 and 21 is 35. That's the 8, money, power, authority. So you're driven to achieve material things, but you want to take time also to smell the roses, Nathan. You make a great coach. You make a great coach for young people because you have athletic ability. Jackie Brown, 1118 is 29. You may have started business early. You certainly have an entrepreneur's, your month and year indicate entrepreneurial skills, but you're also here to be of service, to teach, to counsel. And the 9 means selfless giving in some way, shape, or form. You must conceptualize being a universal spirit, a representative of the planet. So 9s are very universal. They're multi-talented. You make a great attorney, for example, or someone in the field of the arts. 11 and 18 is 29. Your years are 24. 29 and 24. 53. Wow. 24 and 29, 53. I said wow because you have a lot of people have a little photo with them, Dr. G, and Jackie Brown looks like a kitten, but she's a tiger. The 53 is not here to be Susie Homemaker. A lot of military leaders are 53s, life and death. Life and death. That's how the 53 likes it. Life and death situations. They like things intense. So you're here to be a captain of industry, to run your own business, and to operate as the hand of God on earth. A 501c3 would be a good place to put some of the money that you're here to make. Curtis Ford. The name Curtis Ford is the name of a musician or a writer, someone who's very, very wise, very, very wise. You may also be in the ministry as Curtis Ford because the name Curtis Ford is a number 7. On the 7th day, God rested. So Curtis Ford, you're going to need lots of quiet time by yourself. You're also going to be challenged with following through. Don't quit. Don't give up. It's going to happen, but you have a number 4 challenge, which is a challenge of following through and being orderly in your approach. Plan your work and then work your plan. You can't be haphazard about it. You have to go step by step by step. Your year, 1971, adds up to 18, and your month and day is a 26. 26 and 18 is 44. You are the master liberator, the speaker of truth, and the prophet, Curtis Ford. Whether you decide to go to seminary or not, Curtis, you're a minister. Amanda Siegel, keep your ID with you. You're going to always appear younger than you are. Wow. Wow, Church Avenue Dan. Church Avenue Dan's father was the king of Albania. That's the guy with the ruler of all nations and people. So I'm sure the bloodline has followed Church Avenue Dan. You are a ruler. Fair, just, claim your throne. You're very welcome, Sandra. 8619. Oh man, I missed the date. 86. It just kind of jumped real quick. So I'll talk about 86. The number 6 is a symbol for service, teaching, counseling, nurturing, giving advice, and rescuing people in need. If you're born 8/6, that adds up to 14. This is a number 22 year. So you're in a number 9. You add your month and day to the universal year. So 14 and 24 is 36. 3 plus 6 is 9. So if you're born 8/6, this is a cycle of endings and completions. Get ready for September. It's time for letting go. People, places, and situations will be leaving your experience. Leaving your experience. If you're born on August the 6th, it is time for letting go in September. Don't try to hold on to the old. It's gone. There it is, Nathan Jacob. Nathan Jacob. That's who I'm referring to. It's time for letting go of the old, Nathan Jacob. Okay. 4/1, 1967. Number 1 is leadership. The first, the fastest, the top, the best. Your year adds up to a 23. 1 plus 9 plus 6 and 7 is 23. Your month and day is a 5. 5 and 23 is 28. Amare Albay, 28. 2 plus 8 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. So not only is it your day of birth, the number 1, when we add month, day, and year, also the number 1. This one is special, the number 28. You see, many of the stories in scripture, the names of the characters are there to tell you about the numbers. If you know the number code, you're going to find out about the experience you're going to have. There was a guy by the name of Joseph, a number 28, just like you, Amari Bay, 4167. He was a 28. His brothers were jealous of him because he had a coat of many colors. They threw him in a pit, sold him into slavery. But the scripture says, but God was with him. Next thing, he ends up working for a king. The king's wife tries to hit on him. He runs away, but the king's wife says a whole nother story. Anyway, this guy ends up in prison, but the scripture says that God was with him. Long story short, the king has a dream, 7 fat cows, 7 skinny cows, and Joseph can interpret dreams. So he comes out of the prison after being betrayed by his brothers, lied on by the queen. He comes out of the prison and is put in charge of all the land. The 7 fat cows, 7 skinny cows. There was a 7 years of famine, 7 years of plenty, 7 years of famine. Joseph grew food, saved up the food during the famine years. Big hero. So, Amari El Bay, people are going to try to hold you back. There's going to be terrible things that happen to you. People who should be for you are going to be against you. But no matter what they do, you will end up back on top. Okay? And working in real estate will be a real boon to you. You're welcome, no sis. 11-2, old soul, your month 11, 1 and 1 is 2, your day, also a 2, your year adds up to 17. 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 0 is 17. 17 and 13 is 30. So I'm speaking to Kavia Spencer Bay, 11-2-1970. You're a number 30, and that stands for great joy, happiness, abundance. 3 stands for expression, 0 is a symbol for God. So many ministers operate under the number 30. I don't know if you have answered the call, but you're an old soul. You've been here many times before, and you will not be able to avoid being of service to others. Kavir Spicer Bay, you're here to be of service. You may have been born into a situation where you learn about love through the lack of it. Many people with a birthday like yours, I call it the ugly duckling syndrome. You're born into a family and say, well, who are these people? Was I adopted? So you don't feel close to your relatives, but they have taught you about love, service, and standing up on your own. So therein was the value of having your egg roll into a duck nest when you were a swan. Pernell L., you have a lawyer's chart. You have an attorney's chart. Pernell L., you're here to be a fighter, to stand up for truth, to fight for justice. You may have even had a little ring time because the 31s are boxers. Roy Jones Jr. was a number 31. Your month and day, 3 plus 6 is 9. In your year, 1975 adds up to 22. 9 and 22 is a 31. And it's called the warrior vibration, the sword of the Lord. You're here to fight for truth, fight for justice. So many 31s are attorneys. But you'll also be good with your hands, working with the land. Some 31s are farmers. They work with their hands. They're managers. You make sure things happen when they're supposed to. Things are on time. And when you have company after they leave, you go back behind them and put everything back in its place where it's supposed to be. Pernell L. You're welcome, Miss Heath. Church Avenue Dan, it's worth your time. Was it divine order that I would skip? 11-13-74. 11-13-1974. 11 and 13 adds up to 24. And your year adds up to 21. 1 plus 9 plus 74. 24, 21 is 45, I believe. 24, yeah, 45. And 4 plus 5 is 9. 2, 4, 3. Just checking. Yes, you are number 9. Nines are here to be God's hand on earth. Okay. You're here to be a selfless giver. You're going to be in a lot of situations where you're giving, but get a little back from those you give to, which means you're probably going to be working with the poor, the sick, and the disadvantaged. If that sounds sort of Mother Teresa-ish, it's because it is. Mother Teresa was a number 9. The poor, the sick, the homeless, the people she served didn't have anything to give back. So that's the number 9 experience. You're here to be God's hand on earth. Now, the number 45 is a warning number, Nakia. It means learn from the past and let it go. There's no need crying over spilled milk. Even if you could get every drip and drop back into the glass after it was spilled, will you really want to drink it? I don't think so. Easy for me to say, hard for you to do. Learn from the past and let it go. The number 13 will help you with that because it enables you to make the old new, to fix things, and then move on. 2, 4, 3. Leadership. Being a leader is going to be a challenge for you. Your vow total is a number 11, so you're going to have opportunities in music, poetry, radio, television. Um, if you spend time in meditation and prayer, these talents and skills will rise. And I'm glad you were persistent in making sure you got your information. Diana Black L, 12/20/1965, another old soul. You're here to work on one thing and one thing only, Diana, leadership, being the boss. It may feel uncomfortable for you to have to step up, but sooner or later, you'll get tired of saying, why doesn't somebody do something? Do they see what's going on? The somebody is you. Let's add your month, day, and year. 33 and 20. Oh, I'm sorry, I went too fast. Your month is a 12. Your year is a 21. 1 plus 9 plus 6 and 5. So I added 12 and 21. That's where I got 33. Then I added that to 20, which is 53. That number showed up a lot. 53. Power, strength, determination. Susie Homemaker? No. Captain of industry? Yes. The number 53 is very gifted when it comes to providing leadership, direction, and guidance for others. 5 plus 3 is 8. As it is above, so it is below. So 8's are here to channel the power of God on earth. So yes, you're the boss. You're the one everyone should be looking forward to. Looking forward to your instruction, I should say. People are really intimidated by the number 8. Nobody looks forward to having an encounter with a number 8. The power of God. Did Pharaoh like seeing Moses? No, Moses was a number 8. God picked Moses as a representative for power and strength. So people will be intimidated. All you number 53s, and most of you are female. When we're talking about spiritual qualities, gender doesn't matter. Okay, that's a physical quality. The spiritual quality of the number 8 will express itself as being the boss. Okay, Sophia Bay, 4367. 4 and 3 is 7. Your year adds up to 23. 23 and 7 is 30. That number showed up a lot. So not only is it your day a 3, but your month, day, and year is also a 3, Sophia. And that's the number of expression, singing, painting, dancing, writing, anything artistic, decorative, colorful comes under the number 3. Keep your ID with you. Nobody's going to believe your age. Children are going to love you. The challenge that's showing up in your chart is you're so creative, you may be doing too many things at once, okay? So you're going to have to focus. You can't just do one thing. So I would recommend you put your top 4 goals, get get 4 3x5s, 4 of those little cards. Put your top 4 goals on each of the cards. All right. So you got 4 cards, 4 goals on each. All right. 4 cards, 4 goals. Then you're going to put those cards where you're going to see them, on your refrigerator, on your dashboard, on your mirror. That's all you got to do. So you're going to unconsciously be putting in your mind those goals. And before you know it, you're going to find yourself accomplishing more, Sophia Bay. Because with all the 3 energy in your name, there's a tendency to be too scattered. Okay. So try the 4 3x4s. You're going to be able to, you're going to find out you're able to get more done. This year for you, it's a great year for launching your business. Get ready for September. You're going to be thrust into the limelight. If you are writing, you're going to start to get some recognition for the things that you have done in September. Get ready. The spotlight is coming. Sophia 4/3/1967. It's coming your way in September. Byron Bay. On the 7th day, God rested. So people who were born on the 7th, as you are, need time by themselves, quiet time alone. Number 7, 7, 16, and 25. Those are the number 7 birthdays. Your year is also a 7. 1969. 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 9 adds up to 25. There's that double 7. Old soul. Old soul. So your years are 25. Your months are 5. That adds up to 30. And your days are 7. That's 37. 3 plus 7 is 10. And 1 plus 0 is 1. Byron Bay, leadership, self-employment. With the spiritual influence of the number 7, you may have your own church or school, but in some way, shape, or form, you're here to reveal truth. I don't know if you heard the beginning of the show. I'm a number 7. So 7s are researchers, thinkers, analysts. Higher education will be a natural thing for you, Byron Bay. You may end up becoming Dr. Byron Bay before it's all over with. Patience is going to be the key. Diplomacy and tact. You're a number 1. You like things fast. You're an analyst. Okay. You're an analyst. So you're going to be, you're going to have to be careful not to be too critical of others. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. Byron Bay, entrepreneur, speaker of truth. Keep your faith. It's not going to happen the first time you try it, but it will happen. You are a mountain mover. Faith is the assurance of things unseen. Okay, so you have to keep your faith until it manifests. Jermaine, 7/21/76. 2 plus 1 is 3. Singing, painting, dancing, writing, anything artistic, decorative, colorful, working with children. It's a number of youth, and abundance is usually assured when the number 21 shows up. It's a very spiritual vibration as well. Gandhi was a 21. Tremendous spiritual power associated with that vibration, as is with the number 7, Jermaine, a number of faith. You experienced leadership early in life, couldn't wait to get out of the house. Your month and day add up to 28. Your year is a 23. 10 and 13 is 23. 23 and 28 is 51. That's the number of the fighter who cannot be defeated. The number 51, Jermaine Ramsey. I don't believe you heard me. If you are fighting for truth, justice, and fighting for the right, you cannot be defeated. Many 51s are boxers, they're kickboxers, they know karate. They don't mind delivering a punch. Number 51s. They're fighters. So Jermaine, you don't have to say a word. All you have to do is walk into a room and you're going to start to get some pretty dirty looks because people will sense a warrior is present. Okay. a warrior is present. So choose your battles wisely. Just because you feel like people are after you, it doesn't mean you're paranoid. As a 51, you will be opposed because you represent the sword of the Lord. And when God is about to remove someone or to remind them who's really in charge, he's sending you in for the victory. For the victory. 29. This is a year of change for you, Jermaine. In September, everything will change. You'll probably be in a new house in October. Very distinct possibility. You're going to be changing residence in October. Taj Workman, the number 10. 1 stands for leadership and 0 stands for God. So when you're born on the 10th, or if you're born in October, it means it's going to be you and God. Very little support from from people, from bystanders. No one's cheering you on, Taj, telling you, yeah, you can do it. You're probably saying, who do you think you are? Why are you trying to do that? What makes you think you're so special? That's the number 10. 1 stands for you, 0 stands for God. So that's your greatest strength, your prayer life. God's your partner. He'll remind you from time to time. You will not be able to think your way out of everything, although you'll be able to think your way out of most. Self-employment is usually mandatory when you're born on the 10th, and you can expect to have to start again and again and again. You see, the 10 comes after the number 9. The 9 is the last number. After the 9, there are no new numbers, and the 10 means I begin again. So your life will be constantly renewing and beginning again. Your month and day add up to 18. Your years are 25. 25 and 18 is 43. So you're a speaker, Taj Workman. Expect to be in front of people, speaking, perhaps in the ministry. In some way, shape, or form, you will be providing leadership through your vocal talents and skills. You're also a writer as well. Keep your faith. Your faith is going to be tested, but keep your faith and it will all go well. Three 70 EKA. Oh, wait a minute, I skipped some folks. 42068. 4 plus 20 is 24. And your year adds up to 24. 1 plus 9 plus 6 and 8. 24 and 24 is 48. Oh my goodness, 48. It says private, 42068, but you will experience abundance in your life. The number 48 guarantees abundance. The only question is, how will you use it? How will you use it? Will you bling out, cater to yourself, or will you use your financial abundance to alleviate the sufferings of others? That's what it's meant for. You're an entrepreneur. You have the energy of someone who can help others financially. A philanthropist. That's the word I was searching for. A philanthropist. 26. This is a year for new beginnings. For 2068. 2020 adds up to 22. Your month and day adds up to 24. 24 and 22 is 46. 4 plus 6 is 10. And 1 plus 0 is 1. So this is a number 1 year. Always means new beginnings. So September, private, 42068. That's going to be a culminating month where everything you're working on now reaches its fullest potential and comes to a close, and you'll be off to a new start in September. Jermaine, 7/21/1981. 7/21 is 28. Your year 10 adds up to 19. Then 1981, 1 plus 9 is 10, 8 is 19. So adds up to 47. You're number 11, Jermaine. 11 is the number of the master teacher, the great spiritual energy, the number 11. Our hostess has a number 11 vowel total. So the 11 will put you on radio, television, into the limelight. It gives you a chance to let your light shine. So if you're writing, I recommend you start to share what you are writing. It can lead to fame. Fame is very possible when 11 shows up, mainly because you're trying to avoid it. Humility often brings that spiritual power through the number 11 and thrust them into the limelight. Um, Big Zoo Beats, 9/17, 1969. The 17, when you see the 17, that's hands down the most intense, powerful of all the numbers, the number 17. You can't get a better financial prospect. You can't have a stronger will. You can't have a more strong and fit body as a number 17. You will definitely stand out from the crowd. Muhammad Ali was a 17. Moses was a 17 scripture. The word God, G-O-D, is a 17. So I speak of the power of the 17 for obvious reasons. If we add your month and day, 9 plus 17 is 26. Now you got an athlete's chart. 9/17, 1969, you got an athlete's chart. You probably were a sprinter or runner or a swimmer. Strong legs are indicated by your numbers. Your year adds up to 25. 25 and 26 is 51. Yeah, you're a fighter, an athlete. Um, the Marines would have been proud to have you. 9/17, 1969. Tremendous will, strong willpower, great financial potential. Having your own business would be a great expression of your gift. Um, but you have to understand people are usually very intimidated by the power of the number 17. So it's something you'll have to cope with and deal with because usually 17s are trying to help people, but um, because they come on very strong, they can be very intimidating. 31, 48. If you've been waiting for money, 9/17, it's going to flow like water. It's going to flow like water. This year will be a year of abundance. Thank you, everyone. I'm glad. Thank you for all your compliments. Thank you for the feedback. Toothless tiger. Wow. Toothless tiger, huh? Okay. 26. That's a number associated with karma. The 26. What goes around comes around, number 26. And in this lifetime, you're going to have to learn forgiveness. No question about it. Things are going to happen that you're going to blame other people for, but it's your karma. It's things you've done coming back to you. Your year adds up to 23. 1 plus 9 and 5 and 8 is 23. Plus 10 is 33. 33 and 26 is 59. 5 and 9 is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 stands for freedom. Fives make great salespeople, great athletes. So you're here as a 5 to rock the boat, to be a change maker, to bring about progressive change. Your year is also a 5, which means you're in a golden time right now. A lot of people feel like they're going to slow down when they get older, but Toothless Tiger, you're going to be traveling, you're going to be fit. You're also going to be able to be of service and get the joy that comes from knowing you've helped other people and you've been of service and you've helped heal them, not only financially, but through your example. Okay, people are looking at what you're doing and they want to be like you. All right, so you are very inspirational. 9/19/1971. The number 19 is leadership. Malcolm X was a prime example of that. The 19 usually becomes the face of an organization. If it's not your own business, you'll be the face of an organization. What do I mean like that? Well, what do I mean by that? Well, usually in sports, the star of the team will be the face. That's the face they'll show on all the posters. Okay. Um, um, Astrologically, the planet associated with the 19 is the sun. The sun. Okay. How powerful is that? The influence the sun has on the earth. So if you're born on the 19th of any month, as Swan like is, you have the power to nurture and make things grow, or you can scorch the earth. It's in your hands. Ra Moses, 3 and 19. I see the music. I see the music. 3 stands for singing, painting, dancing, writing, anything artistic, decorative, colorful. It's not only your month, Ra Moses, but also your year. 1956 adds up to 21, and 2 plus 1 is 3. If we add month, day, and year, 3 plus 4 plus 21 is 28. 2 plus 8 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. Leadership. You would make a great entrepreneur. Having your own business, providing leadership and direction to others is your gift. You're a leader. Plain and simple. Number 1, everybody knows what it means to be numero uno. Good vibes. Thank you, Big Zubits. Official House of Reawakening Mind. Dr. G is a 17-day of birth. Awesome. Awesome. Power. God's presence on earth. The 17, coupled with the number 11, birthday. Coupled with the number 11, bow total. Strong, powerful. Moses was a 17. So when the 17 shows up, it means you are here to be a leader, but even more importantly, we study Moses. 17s are here to speak truth to power. To go where the brave dare not go, where other people are intimidated. Oh, let's send Dr. G in. I'm scared. Muhammad Ali, I remember he said, I'm not going to fight your war. No Vietnamese ever called me a nigga. I remember it like it was yesterday. He refused. He spoke truth to power. He said, I'm not going to take away my license, do what you want to do. That's the 17. Why? Because they know who the real power is. And they are expressing. 17s are God's representative here on earth, and they're here to speak power. Power. To represent power, victory, achievement. Another reason why I told Dr. G to wait for her number 8. Wait for that 8 energy before launching her book. Elion L, 429. The number 29 is an entrepreneur vibration. Oprah Winfrey was born on the 29th. It's a symbol for abundance. Okay? Great abundance. That's the number 29. It's also a symbol for light, truth, light, and wisdom. Very, very spiritual energy. Oprah has had her show about spirituality. Okay, so that's the number 29. So if you're not writing number 29, I want to encourage you to do so. If you are writing, I want to encourage you to share what you're writing, because many 11s will hide. They'll write stuff and then they'll hide it. They'll have stuff written on the back of old scraps of paper and books everywhere, all around the house. Dr. G, you may be guilty of this as well. With the 11 energy. 11 energy in your name, you must just, because think of it, the 11, all right, and some of you remember the old TVs, 11 is God's antenna. Remember those rabbit ears? That's the number 11. So you're God's antenna. So 11s can pick up emanations from spirit that most of us aren't even aware of. Jesus, Muhammad, Timothy, founders of religions, picking up emanations from God and putting it into a form that the rest of us can understand. Iman L, let your light shine. Thank you, Taj. Taj wants to buy my book. I appreciate that. You're very welcome, Private. Hang in there. Halftime, number 9, selfless giving halftime. Give, 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 give. But the word money is also a number 9. The more you give, the more you get. This is a give and take game. The game of life is plant seeds for a harvest. Halftime, 426, forgiveness. Halftime, go to that secret place where you have stuff stashed. Good memories keep, old memories, get rid of them. Rob Moses, I got you already. Running out of time here. EKA, double threes. Sing, paint, dance, write, work with children. Finances are going to increase dramatically in September. Okay. You thought July was good. Wait till September gets here. EKA. Swan Light keeps giving me the word Islam. What is the word Islam? 9 plus 1 is 10. Is 18. Islam is 18. The number 18 is a symbol for love. So the science of Islam, the religion of Islam, is about love. It's a universal love vibration. It symbolizes the hand of God on earth. It's very, very misunderstood. You're very welcome, Earl Nixon. The number 4, someone has asked me, what does the number 4 mean? The number 4 stands for work, order, work and orderliness. It's considered one of the holy numbers. The 7 and the 4 are the holy numbers because they're made of parts of the cross. So 4 stands for work, order, system, building. The 4 looks like a triangle. Engineers come under the number 4. I'm born made of 4. 4s are very good with numbers. The 4th book of the Bible is Numbers. So that's the number 4. Noble Bay, just got finished telling you about the number 4. It's not only your day, but also your year. Your year, 1975, that's at the 22. That's the highest 4. 7 and 22 is 29. Noble Bay, start that business if you haven't already. And share what you're writing. You're a writer, an artist, and a poet. Get out front. Stop hiding in the background. You are a leader. There's no way you can avoid being a leader. Toothless Tiger, thank you for the feedback. Forgiveness, acceptance, no condemnation. Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate you meeting that karma. Halftime, 26, forgive. Halftime showed up a couple times on here as we're running out of time. He's got a name for me. 4, 5, 10. Your first name is a 9, which is selfless giving. That's an 18, love. ELMI is a 3. So you're number 3. Mahat LD, you're number 3. Work with children. Work with children. Use your voice. 13. Take the old, make it new. Thank you. You're welcome. 123, Patricia Pratt, keep rocking the boat. You have friends in high places. Let them help you, Patricia. You don't need their help, but they need to help you. It's a karmic connection. When the 23 shows up, in past lifetimes, you helped a lot of people. Now they're in positions of power and they want to help you. They don't even know why, but they want to help you. So you're turning it down because you may be suspicious of their motives. So here's what you say, Patricia Pratt. I'll allow you to help me so you can show God how thankful you are for the blessings you have received. I'll allow you to help me. See, that way you're doing them a favor and there's no strings attached. Try it. You'll like it, Patricia. No strings attached. That's the number 23. You're welcome, halftime. 888, Basira. 888 is from, that was Jesus's number when he was in the mystery schools. 888. If you read and study the Aquarian Gospel of Christ, you'll find that was a number assigned to him. 888 adds up to 24. 2 plus 4 is 6. The number of service, the number of the servant, and the number of the martyr. Should I go on, Dr. G? Okay. That 888 kind of rocked me when I saw that. 228. 228. You are here to be a leader. 2 plus 8 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 2 plus 28 is 30. And your year adds up to 25. 30 and 25 is 55. And that's a master number. That's called the master of divine will. Okay, the master of divine will. Johnny Gold. Johnny Gold. 55 is very strong in terms of religion and the law. Okay, self-employment is definitely indicated. There's another 28 right behind you, Basira, born on the 28th, leadership. But 28s also face opposition. Okay, don't put too much trust in other people when you're a 28. 2 plus 8 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. You came in and do this on your own. So you may delegate erroneously or pass off something vital to someone else and live to regret it. If you're a number 28, you've got to do that yourself. But Sarah, you're an old soul. Your month is a 1. Your day is a 1. Your year is up to 22. 1966 is 22. 22 and 29, 51. Sword of the Lord. Get into a fight, 7. Get into a fight, 12866. You can't lose. 7, 8. 7 plus 8 is 15. This is Del Reese. Your years are 22. 22 and 15 is 37. That was Martin Luther King Jr.'s birth path number, the number 37. Quiet warrior, the 37. Very intense leader with the desire to rule. All right. Knowing is half the battle. So true. 527. 2 plus 7 is 9. That's a number of selfless giving. Your month is a 5. That's freedom. Your year adds up to 20. 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 3. 20 and 20. 20 and 5 is 25. 25 and 27 is 52. So you are very knowing. 5 plus 2 is 7. That's a number of faith and wisdom. Very, very wise. 527. You may find yourself researching, thinking, analyzing, discovering truths. The 27 is God's favorite number. So you are blessed and highly favored. You will experience loss in your lifetime, but whatever the universe takes from you, it'll give it back double. Your challenge is to maintain your sense of humor, your joy of living, and to use your ability to communicate, sing, paint, dance, write, 527, and that will lead to your fortune. Rick Thomas, 29, entrepreneur vibration. You can have your own business. Test your abilities and your skills. Get them out there. See what they are worth. 8 plus 27 is 30. 8 plus 29, rather, is 37. Your year adds up to 21. 37 and 21 is 58. 5 plus 8 is 13. 1 plus 3 is 4. This is the number of someone who is a very hard worker, extremely hard worker. You, as a 4, you have an opportunity to put your dreams into form. The number 11 is known as an idealist. So, Rick, you can dream big dreams. Someday I'll do this. Someday I'll do that. The number 4 will allow you to manifest those dreams and put them into form. So, if you haven't yet, I recommend you investigate at least starting a business. All right. This is your year to take that risk. Rick Thomas. I feel like I already covered that name. Sounds familiar. Talked about the 29, 829. No wonder. You got it twice. MHTS. 3 stands for singing, painting, writing, anything artistic, decorative, colorful. 3s are here to have fun um, and be the life of the party. Those are the people saying, let's do this. Let's go out for drinks after work. Let's do this. Very spontaneous. The number 3. If we add it to your month, 11 and 3 is 14. Your year adds up to 19. 14 and 19 is 33. That's called the Master Healer, MHTS Regency. You have healing in your hands. Many doctors, physicians, musicians, because music is also a healing force, operate under the number 33. You cannot avoid being of service to others because you are the master of universal love and the master healer. The servants are the greatest among us. So MHTS, you are a great soul. Number 13, Tashonda Johnson. Take the old, make it new. 13 stands for change, release, and transformation. Change, release, and transformation. What is death to the caterpillar is life to the butterfly. The transformation. You may start off crawling around, but before it's all over, you'll end up with wings. Adding your month and day is 23. Your year adds up to 20. 20 and 23 is 43. 4 plus 3 is 7. The 43 is known for their ability to articulate. So you are a teacher and a lecturer, poet, if you will. You have the gift for discovering truth and the ability to share it with others. Specialize. Look for something that you really like and specialize. You're welcome, Patricia Pat. Experience TV. Yes, the number 11 will help you experience TV. You're born on the 11th, and that's the number associated with radio, television, theater, film, being a light, electricity, inspiring others, being a master teacher and an example for who and what others should be. 11 is called the master teacher vibration. Many 11s work in the classroom, but whether you do or not, you are the lesson. Jesus was known to say, I am the way, I am the example. So, Marissa, you are the truth, the light, and the way. If we add up the numbers in your year, 1987 adds up to 25. Your month is a 3, that's 28. If we add 11 to that, we get 39. So you are here to sprinkle a little sunshine into the lives of many to help make the world become a better place. You are on a mission, Marissa, to bring light, joy, and happiness and to make the world a better place. It may sound like a pretty tall order, but not for a number 11. We opened the show with 3 11s who had religions founded upon their great insight and illumination. Okay? So that's what you came here to do, to make the world a better place. And you're going to be able to do it with young people. See, when you teach children, they'll teach their children who teach their children, and that's how you will accomplish it. Piece of cake. Speaking of children, LaWanda Bay, you have a number 3 day of birth. That's children. Number 3 stands for youth. You will also appear younger than you are as well. Your month and year add up to the number 1. 6 and 3 is 9. 1972 adds up to 19. 19 and 9 is 28. 2 plus 8 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. Numero uno, the first, the fastest, the top, the best. That's the number 1. You could find yourself in the music field, creative design. I'm feeling with your energy. Creative design, being on the cutting edge, new ideas, new fashions. That's what number ones do. They originate. They don't imitate. They originate. 1-6-1975. Goddess 1. Yes, you are Goddess 1. 1 plus 5, add up to 6. Your year adds up to 22. 6 and 22 is 28. 2 plus 8 is 10. And 1 plus 0 is 1. So yes, you are a number 1, Goddess. The first, the fastest, the top, the best. Blair Elby. Hi. Numero uno, Goddess number 1. Self-employment is definitely indicated. But take your time. You're moving too fast. Okay? You're going to have to keep doing things over and over again until you finally slow down and do them right. Margaret McCoy. There's a book in your future if you haven't written it already. Michael Hamilton. I don't know if Margaret, that's Michael Hamilton's birthday, but whoever's born the 16th, that's the person I'm referring to when I talk about the book. Okay, gather your knowledge, do your research, and enlighten the world. Joshua Dickerson, 8 plus 11, leadership, early in life. You have the mantle of leadership. 11 will make you a light bearer. Very, very intuitive, very sensitive to what's going on around you. And with the 11 comes the potential for fame. Your year adds up to 26. 1 plus 9 plus 8 and 8. 2 plus 6 is 8, which indicates you are an old soul. Your month and your day are both 8s. And you're here to be of service, Joshua Dickerson. You cannot avoid it. There's nothing you can do to avoid being of service to others. What do I mean by that? Teaching, counseling, nurturing, giving advice, and rescuing people in need. More divine than most. More divine than most. You have friends in high places. Let them help you. Stop turning away the help. Okay? Let them help you. Your year adds up to 24. That's called the family entrepreneur vibration. More divine than most. You're also here to fight for the right. You have a lot of warriors that have been checking in here. Number 51. If your month, day, and year adds up to 51, you're a warrior. Plain and simple. All right. Watch your back. I mean it. You're a warrior. There's going to be intense energy around you. Many 51s are kickboxers or karate experts in some way, shape, or form. They know how to defend themselves, and if they have to disable someone with their physical prowess. In terms of politics, be the person behind the scenes, number 51. You don't want to be out front, all right? I call the 51 the Geronimo vibration. Geronimo was a number 51. They tried to shoot him. He healed. They locked him on a reservation. He escaped. Eventually, they just put him in parades and sold tickets and called him a great American hero. He was a 51. As a number 51, you're going to have some experiences that are intense, maybe some violent experiences in your lifetime. But as long as you're fighting for the truth, you can never be defeated. They could never defeat Geronimo. He was never defeated. Okay. Someone is asking me to add up Noble Drew Ali, but they have 1/8/1986. I'm sure that's not his birthday, but I can do his name. The name Noble is 11, 13, and 8 is a 21. I mentioned that earlier that Gandhi was a 21, a very high, intense spiritual energy, enabling one to have communion with higher forces and to be able to impact what's going on around them through prayer and meditation. That's a 21. 3, 6, 75, I see it. The word Drew is a 5, and Ali is a 4, 13. Change, release, and transformation. So you have 3 plus 5 plus 4 adds up to 12. That's the number of genius. The number 12 is the number of genius. So the name Noble Drew Ali indicates someone whose mind was sharp and clear, who could perceive truth and was very articulate in sharing that truth with others. 3, 6, 75 popped up on the screen. 3 and 6 is 9. 1975 is up to 22. 22 and 9 is 31. I call that the sword of the Lord. You're here to discriminate truth from false. Many attorneys. That is a natural attorney vibration, the number 31. So whether you are an attorney or not, or take the classes, people are going to come to you to fight their battles for them. You're very welcome, Joanna Heath. Jermaine, you're very welcome. 531, 1987. Dr. G, I'm starting to lose my voice. 531. I'm gonna try to do a couple more. 5 plus 31 is 36. Your year adds up to 25. 25 and 36 is 61. 6 plus 1 is 7. That's the number of the researcher, the thinker, the analyst. So you have the potential to become an expert in your field. And 7s are very spiritual. So whether you decide to take the classes or go to seminary, you're a minister. When the 7 shows up, you have that intuitive and that spiritual connection. One more. I'm going to do one more. The next one in line is, forgive me, 1477, Mati Faru L. Apologize if I didn't say that correctly. But the birthday represents the gift. So you have the gift of leadership. That's the number 1. You have the gift of the number 4. 4s don't need anyone telling them what to do. They're very self-sufficient. They're self-starters, okay? Hard workers, self-starters, very disciplined. In your year, 1977, adds up to 24. That's called the family entrepreneur vibration, number 24. This gives you the opportunity to be of service, to teach, to nurture, and to produce income to feed your family. When we add it all up, it adds up to 29, and 2 plus 9 is 11. So we're ending up right where we started off. The number 29, that was Barack Obama's birthpad. The number 29, oh, marvelous place to stop. Mati Faru El, you are the truth, the light, and the way. Let your light shine. Let your light shine. You're a businessman, an entrepreneur, and a teacher as well. Okay. Dr. G, I don't know why we missed you. Universe playing tricks on us.
He said,
Hey, you're back.
A lot of echo. Let me see if I can. I'm on my phone.
That's okay. It just makes you sound more mysterious.
Let me sound it down. Okay, I don't know if you all can hear me. I'm holding my cell phone. Believe it or not, the camera went out in the beginning of the show. I don't know what happened to the camera, but I would have had to have logged completely out, and I didn't want to lose anybody, so I'm holding my cell phone. Then my cell phone started to die, so I had to go plug it, find a plug to plug it up so it wouldn't die. But terrific show. In spite of the technical difficulties, I think by and large, everyone has been well pleased with your gift of and knowledge of numerology. There are some questions with regard to how to attain a copy of your book. Someone said they can't find it on Amazon.
Yes,
Is it available at your website?
You can visit my website at www.craigerwright.com. That's my name, CRAIG, Wright.com. And you can acquire an ebook, or you can get the paperback. I'm surprised it's not on Amazon.
Okay.
It's called It All Adds Up. You may have to put my name there, but people have told me that they were able to buy it there. Knowing is half the battle. Peace unto you as well. Knowing is half the battle.
Wait a minute. I'm going to type this in. Website www.craigerwright.com.
Yes, CraigEWright.com. That's correct.
That's also the way you can get in touch with you.
Yes.
For readings.
Yes,
am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm echoing and I'm talking on the phone trying to keep this down, but I'm glad we didn't have to hang it up and lose everybody, and this has been wonderful. I wanted to add this one thing. I used to work for the mayor of the city. I was in the cabinet. I was the director of housing, and I remember when he was contemplating about running for office again in the 2016 election, and I gave you a call. You said, what is his birth date? I gave you the incumbent mayor's birth date, and your response was, I would ask you about his his chances for reelection. And you said, does he have grandchildren? And I said, yes. You said, well, he's going to have a lot of time to spend with them because he's in a 9-year and things are going to end at this 9-year, and the following year will be his 1 year, which will be a new beginning. And you were absolutely correct. Now, I told him what you said, and he mulled it over for a while and was trying to figure out whether or not, in fact, he was going to run. But he had people that he had brought along with him that for them, another term would give them vested, because you needed 5 years to be vested, not 4. And I think he, in thinking about the people that he was, were in his cabinet and that he, was in his administration, he says, I'll do it again. And he came to me maybe a couple weeks after I told him what you said. And he said, I don't think this guy knows what he's talking about. I'm going to run. And the night of the primary, when it was apparent that he had lost, I walked over to him and I said, he wasn't
wrong.
The
Numbers weren't wrong. I feel blessed to be able to share this information, but it's out there. It's available to anyone. But I appreciate the feedback, because that lets people know that it's true. We are literally the living word. If you could resonate with what I shared with you tonight, I want to give God the glory, because we are the living word. We are children of the Most High. And many of your listeners are old souls. They've been here many times before. And the people that are listening to your show are shakers and movers. You have a lot of spiritually, what's the term being used there? Woke. You have a lot of woke people watching your show. And they are really influencing. They are influencers. You have influencers on your program. Not only the 8s who get out there and twist arms, but the 11s and the 7s. The prayer, the power of the prayer people that you have is amazing. I've never seen so many old souls in one gathering. And I've been doing this since 1988. That's a long time. I got a shout out to the more you are, something you write can make it to the big screen. The more, keep writing, stay with your art. Stay with the art. Don't let people talk you out of it. Sorry, doctor. I had to share that. That was jumping off the screen at me.
Okay, I'm muting myself and I'm sounding really crazy, but we're going to end. And I thank you. This was a great show, even though I had to shut up and listen. I was going to shut up anyway, but I'm holding the cell phone. I didn't expect to be able to I didn't expect to have to hold a cell phone. And I don't know why I couldn't get back on the camera for the computer, but as it turned out, the audience got great information, and that's just the tip of what you'll get with a full reading and consultation with Dr. Craig Wright. You want to get your private consultation, and please go to his website.
Thank you, Bill.
I don't even know what happened. What happened? Okay, we're gonna do this. My computer. Wow, my computer. My computer. I can't even find me. Let me see where we are. I've never had this happen. There we are.
So I'd like to make a special offer for your guests.
We're gonna.
I'd like to make a special offer. If anyone would like to get a forecast, if anyone would visit the website at www.craigywright.com, and if you order a 6-month forecast, I'll give you an additional 6 with no charge. So order 6 months, get a 12-month forecast. And just put a little note and let me know that you heard about it on Dr. G's show. And I'll extend that discount to your viewers and your listeners. I want to thank you for allowing me to be on the program. And thank you again to your guests for all the kind words and consideration. And I wish you all the best, Dr. G, in all your endeavors. You're very welcome.
Thank you, everyone, for indulging with this technical difficulties. I will figure out what's going on, and we'll be back on Friday with Branchie, Todd's Stories to Obey. And those of you who got a word about being an entrepreneur and having your own business, you might want to consider Quicksilver. I have to make a shameless plug. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me figure out what I'm doing. Oh. Really? Oh, shit.